it'll make some moves, have some opportunities for us today.
Yeah, you like that Volkswagen stuff, don't you? All right, we'll watch out for that one. SMH this week, Chef Joe. Yeah, I mean, I just put some stop orders in or some trigger orders in for NVIDIA. So I like the long. This could come in immediately. I mean, if we break 940, we are going to try the long immediately on this, and then we'll regroup if it fades and maybe gets us back out. I mean, I guess 937, 936 if we're wrong. $4 hit. I mean, that would suck, but we're not going to use maximum shares on this 940 break early, but that is a trade that I like. Intel, I just said last week, remember, we were short Intel. Thank you, we were short Intel. And then all of a sudden it hopped up to 32.10 or something like that. And then it just tanked at the end. So that was something to look out for. We got stopped out right there on Intel. So we're going to try to go long on this name as well. But I'm on NVIDIA right now as we only have a couple seconds to go before this opens up. So let me hit the countdown, which is on now. And I'll just
Market
stare at
is
NVIDIA
open.
because it looks like we're going to get long this name almost ASAP. So here we go with only 4, 3, 2. Obi, good luck. Let's go. Good luck to everybody. Ring that bell. All right, here we go, guys. We are in FFIE, not Kraken. We're going to watch out to see what that one does. NVIDIA making a little bit of a move down. There's FFIE. I'm going to wait for it. It is pulling in here. We could crack lower almost immediately on FFIE. Here's the push down. That balance is now over. FFIE, remember, could halt. It's only a dollar name. So you need 20 cents for a move on that one for the halt. NVIDIA's pulling back into 935 right now. Still not long enough for me, although the 200 period's 935. That move down into 175. We're going to get like basically 80% on this 175 break. Looks like we're going to get out of this immediately. And there it is. So we are now out. We'll slap the fail on that. We're looking at it. If FFIE maybe can rally back from here, then we can get back in. But for right now, there it goes. A little bit of a move off that level. Let's try to punch in. We just tried to punch into more. We just get a little bit there. Now we're bouncing off of that. See what I mean? You got to wait for those levels. And that did hold down there at 171, 172. So we punch out of about 75%, a little bit too early there. We get back in. Now we're in a 5-cent winner. But FFIE trying to go back up to the upside. Hey, maybe we'll halt up. Let's get something out here at 90. Ooh, let's get something out here at 94. But again, it did drop down. This is exactly what happened to us on Friday. Here goes NVIDIA. Looks like it wants to take 940 right now. We're still watching FFIE, but it looks like we'll get into NVIDIA in a second.
Yeah, that NVIDIA kind of moving right off of the bat here. I'm also watching LI, kind of the earnings day one tickers here, Wix and LI on my main screen. Just watching to see if the move kind of continues to the downside or we get a little bit of a relief bounce back in towards that VWAP. We have sold off quite decently off of this 25 in the pre-market here. I was looking at that 150 on Wix. We're just kind of chopping and churning just in and around that 150. But yeah, you can see the ES and the NQ taking a quick little bounce off of this level here. I know Sean was talking about that 18.7. Let's see if we can get to that 18.7, but we are much closer to that 18.6 right now, 18.6 half actually right now. Okay, so there we go, some teleportation to the upside here. What is the strong name here? We got NVIDIA, Amazon, Alphabet, Apple, all kind of pushing towards their or pushing past their pre-market highs. Microsoft still holding on right there. Again, Spider near all-time highs as well. Let's see what we do with that pre-market high at that 530.40. I'm watching 22 halves here on LI. Again, taking a little bit of observation the first few minutes, first 5 minutes. Let's see what we do, what kind of prices, what kind of ranges we make, and then what we do with those right there. NVIDIA, $3 in the money already for Sean. Oh boy, nice start to the day.
Man. I mean, there it is. It's the #1 trade of the day. It's NVIDIA go long at 940. It's $5 in the money right now. I don't know, Obi, honestly. Sometimes it's just like, we talk about
right
this.
There. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, whether or not you get sleep or you don't get sleep, certain things, and you've talked about this being tired, not being able to trade efficiently well. You got to know yourself, right? I mean, I'm here on 2-3 hours of sleep.
Damn.
You know, it just doesn't, you still got to put in the work. Yeah. You know, it's like if you want to become a trader, you have to learn how to trade. You know, and then that sticks with you.
Yeah.
Randy? All right. I mean, we're still $5. It could still fade out. I mean, I have no idea. We'll take three. Look, wow. We'll take $3. You know what? Let's just go to 9.48. This is the thing I do bad, just picking random prices. All right, so let's just go. We're now $5 in the money. It's starting to go upside. Look at Faraday Futures. I apologize to everybody because we had that 275 written down, but there she goes again. As soon as we got stopped out, we did punch right back in. We did talk about that. We got stopped out. Let's go. We got stopped out at 75% of this one. Man, this is another one right here going to the upside. I don't know why NVIDIA is stopping right now. I mean, $5 is probably pretty good. You take that out and you go to the beach. But unfortunately, Obi, someone has to sit beside you all day here. So I can't, I got to still stay here and still the trade. So let's just see what's going on. Faraday Futures is right now is absolutely ripping to the north side. We're going to go 2 for 2 monsters today here on the show and just hope that you guys have had similar trades. And what else is good for you? Why is FFIE not halting, you might ask? Well, I wish I had the answer. What's up, Adara?
Really nice look here for Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, NCLH, right off the open here. They had their investor day where they actually raised their forecast for the second time in less than 3 weeks, citing higher demands and higher ticket prices. So nice look here for NCLH right off the open, guys.
All right, Norwegian. Okay, so another name that I had on watch today, they have a bit of an event going on, is Dell, and Dell kind of pushing towards its highs, pushing near, it's pretty much clipped its all-time highs this morning. So yeah, Dell kind of 154, 153, just chopping around here. 150 still holding here on
NVIDIA. Faraday is
but yeah, I'm going to stay a little bit more patient just to see what kind of ranges we make on some of these names here. 150 really pushing 4 points off of that 150 on Wix, pushing very, very strong. And I hear that Sean is talking about NVIDIA, 950.
$9
Wow.
in the money. I don't even know. I just turn over to Pat. I'm like, do you have
That's
this?
a strong market.
Like, so this is the trade, Obi, that I was going to say for every single person out there. This is why, for me, I don't trade NVDL or anything like that. It's just like when you're looking for a trade, and shout out to Kevin Mendoza and everybody out there that's rocking this with me. It's just like you want the big trades. And I mean, right there, that's it. We're done now. It's 9:36. It's 9:36. It's over. It's over with. Where's the trophy? It's over with. Here, just put it right here.
Nice.
It does it. So right now, we'll just wait and we'll see. I mean, we can still screw this day up. But the idea here is that you make the trades you want to make. We talked about Faraday Futures, waiting for a key level. That actually came in, and I punched out on that key level. But we did get back in. Now it's trying to fall in again. I don't know where NVIDIA is going to go now. Like, it bouncing off 950 is definitely something. So watch out for that 950 there. I'll probably just, yeah, Ponzi, that's it. End the stream. It's over with. But either way, we'll still stay here and wait to see what happens. Honestly, I mean, yeah, see you guys. It's over with. Fade to everybody on vacation right now. But here we go. It's a nice move to the upside for NVDA, and I think it was a decent spot there. We really like the 940. It's why it's your #1 sticky note name. Congratulations, everybody that has it. And Obi now into LI, Lee Auto, fade to black.
Yeah, solid trade there on NVIDIA, Sean. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I did kind of see a lot of size there in and around that 22 teens, that kind of on the ask, and that pushed it down a little bit. Couldn't really get past that 22 too well, just holding on right now. So let's see what we do with this 22 on LI. But yeah, 18.7 blasting through as of right now.
We also have here TANH. If you're looking for another smaller cap name here, they have a float of just over 6 million shares. About 4% of that is going to be short. TANH. TanTech Holdings, not seeing any catalyst on this one. A little bit of social media attention, but keep an eye out, guys. Up over 60%.
All right. Sean, what's the next trade, Sean?
I don't know. I don't have one. I'm just writing out these. My next trade, I'm only doing trades on here, so we can look at this. You want to look at Palantir, and we'll look at Palantir. PLTR. So I wrote down here 21.25 support.
Wow. And it just bounced off of that? What's
Tell me what the bottom of Palantir is today, please, Obi.
21, it looks like right there, 25, yeah.
Could you
look
please
at that
tell me
wick.
what this says here on the top left of the sticky note, Obi?
Palantir 21.25 below support here. Wow.
Could you please repeat what the bottom is?
21.25, shot calling over here, Sean.
So what,
Wow.
what did you ask me again?
What the next trade was, and that's it right there. Palantir off of that
don't
one,
know.
21.25.
What's up, Judge? What's up, everybody? Fisker's starting to go. I don't know if Palantir's going to go. I don't know. I mean, you guys could have had it right there, 15 cents. I don't know. FSRN. All right, let's look at Fisker right now. I'm wondering a little bit about NVIDIA. Fisker's not really moving 8 cents right here, so that's
the market is going.
that's another one. The market's going, which is what I'm worried about because right now NVIDIA's not really going. So
Yeah, like you got Apple. Apple finally got to its pre-market highs.
Yeah,
Softy, we were
190.
talking about that 422.
maybe Apple's along with this market doing this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean,
yeah,
I think if we can hold that 18.7, I think we're pretty poised for a decent move there. We saw what we did with that 18.7 a couple times last week. Yeah, let's see if we get that continuation. But we did open up quite low here, 18.6 30s, 18.640, and then a nice little strong push up into some of those levels there. And we were kind of talking about how who's going to get to 200 first, Apple or Tesla. And it seems like the windup on Apple is quite enticing for that 200 test. I'm not changing my mind. There's absolutely
You
no way.
can if you
Tesla is
want.
definitely a lot more volatile than
can.
Apple is.
can.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I may or may not change my mind. You gotta be.
Okay,
you gotta be
watch
nimble.
this.
As
I'm
a-
changing my mind. I'm going to Tesla.
Oh damn. Okay. All right.
That's right.
All right.
Because you know why, honestly?
You got to be nimble as a trader, right? You can't
Well,
hold
obvious-
on to the bias.
No,
too
no,
hard.
because the thing is that I think Tesla has, again, I just think Tesla has more opportunity than Apple. And so I think that at some point
they've got a lot of
that's
space,
going to, I think Apple is a great stock. I mean, I own way more Apple than I do Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
But Tesla tomorrow could be at 200 and I'm not sure Apple can. So that's the
Yes,
difference there.
That's why I'm leaning towards the Tesla.
Yeah, just
the
because of the
volatility
news.
aspect,
Just
right?
because of the news.
Yeah.
You know. So if you want to play safe, you know, you can choose Apple, but I like where you're going with that. Okay, so that's that one right here. So remember what we said, like all of this could easily fall apart. Take your trades, take your outs wherever you want. Here comes NVIDIA fading right back in again. We have VWAP at 942. That could be something. Remember, we just had a monster move up in the market, so that obviously lifted with NVIDIA, and probably part of that was there in the chip sector. So let's just quickly go over to AMD. There's another one. I mean, look, I picked the poison today, and I chose NVIDIA. So there was so much to trade. On my way into work, we talk about, you know, first of all, I'm pretty much a madman anyways, but I'm always thinking about these stocks. And I had thought about AMD, and I wanted AMD long this morning. But then when I saw NVIDIA and some of those levels, I just switched over there. I think you could do the same thing with AMD. AMD, a really strong name, up to the 50-period moving average there. Taking out 170 again it would be awesome. We almost got up to that level, 168 and change. I really like AMD here as well. But we're going to just choose right now NVIDIA and see what winds up happening. As we're coming back into that 940 level, I think we'll just punch out if it breaks 940 back down to the downside. That VWAP is 942. I mean, a pushback to VWAP probably gets us a little bit longer, which we could try to do that. I'm just a little nervous that the futures, again, as we mark down, stopped at 18.7. So that's a little bit of a problem. So we'll see if we can get back above that. But for me, 942 is a good reload spot, and then we'll probably get out of NVIDIA if it breaks back down below 940. So that's a trade that I like right now. That's NVIDIA. And then Palantir probably, I'll have to look at that again. I'm just trying to watch out for NVIDIA as we start. But this Palantir at 21.25, it's now giving it to you twice. So that's an opportunity all day long down there. But we've been wrong on it. Palantir down 2%, market up 0.3. I'm going to stay away for now. Maybe hit that in a minute. What's up, Adara?
Another small cap to keep an eye on here, currently actually in the middle of a halt, but GTBP, GT Biopharma, up about 180% right now, definitely trading within a bit of a range. They had earnings Wednesday after the close, so a bit of a recent catalyst there. They have a float of 1.27 million shares, so small float, and recent earnings name, reason to keep an eye out on GTBP, guys.
All right, and we've started a little bit of halting there on some of these names. So yeah, let's see. I do have a list or like a layout of all the meme stonks from last week. Let's see, GME, AMC kind of just well within their opening range here. FFIE still holding in and around that $2 mark, 187. I think Sean was looking for that 175-ish level, so we did kind of hold that for now. We got Novavax as well. Hollow taking a flush as well. Novavax still holding on to this this $12 kind of this consolidation from Thursday. I can see that 1270 is a little bit of an interesting level there as well. And okay, cool. Just wanted to take a little bit more of this ticker here, but yeah, okay. So another name, AI, quite heavily shorted as well, taking a quadunk off of the open, a little distinctly different from some of these tech names. The chip names here again, NVIDIA, AMD, quite strong as well. Oh boy, look at that one, 166 consolidation high on AMD. Straight Rip City, 168's coming in on AMD. Now, last week's high, 169.70, we saw the crazy range that it did on Thursday, and then Friday comes out with association news, large cap association news with Microsoft, and then kind of clips that range and then fades right back down into that 162. Quite interesting, opening a little bit higher today and pushing for those highs. So let's see if we can get past last week's high on AMD at that 169.70, that 170 level, a little interesting as well on the AMD. SMCI quite strong as well, pushing that 920, 925 level. Watching SMH as well, the VanEck Semiconductor ETF. Last week's high being at 235, only about a couple points away from that level as of right now. So yeah, a lot of interesting price action right off of the open on a Monday, and yeah, some solid strength, holding that 18.7 as well on the NQ. So that's let's see if we can kind of carry that forward going on into the rest of the day. Didn't really get involved with Wix, but oh boy, that 150 pushing up into 159, 158 halves. Not really doing too much volume here. I have 880 thou done on the day, so nothing too crazy in terms of volume, but in terms of volatility and the move off of that 150, pushing those highs there. Definitely quite a chunky move there. 8 points off of that 150 coming in. LI still looking a little bit weak here, below that 22 level. Again, we talked about that multi-year lows on LI, and a little bit of size pushing it down as well, in and around those 20, just below those 22 halves, 22. Teens, I think, was there was a couple thousand lots there on the ask that did kind of push that price down a little bit, it would seem, on LI Auto there.
What's up, Adara?
Shriv and Brendan were mentioning this one earlier today, but worth keeping an eye still on HIMS, currently up over 18%, trying to break out of that previous resistance here on the daily chart around 17, announcing that they're adding GLP-1 injections to their weight loss portfolio. Worth noting, they do have a short float as well of above 8%. So nice little look here for HIMS to start the week, guys.
Yeah, thinking about this one, I mean, it is. Whew.
Oof, wow.
Yeah. First of all, NVIDIA just went $9 in the money. Like, I mean, we're still holding that one. We'll see where we can go on that. I may have to adjust VWAP and talk about that trade again. But here it goes, man. Is breaking out. So there it goes, right through $17. I mean, what a good level that was this morning, breaking back through this support of 15. And then just ramps like 18% up. Obviously, we broke that out before, but into today, there's $14, $15. Would have been real nice to grab that and have looked at this in the pre-market instead of Faraday, I guess, because that's a pretty nice little level right there on HIMS. So good one. To me, it looks like a short, but with this news, it's definitely not. We talked about all the GLP-1 craze, and we've talked about Eli Lilly, and this was the most recent name that we bought on earnings, was 731 maybe-ish. I'm just saying that before I call up the price. 778. So I mean, it dumped down, came back up. I feel like it's been higher. Yeah, it was into that $800 level and now pulling back. So we'll have to watch out for that. Here goes FFIE potentially now back down to the downside. So let's see what happens here with Faraday Future. not futures. We're not trading the futures. Faraday future. We just took another piece right there. We'll spend a little bit of money for Faraday here. We're long at 183. We just got out at 195. Hopefully it halts. Silly me not sitting there. We're sitting here now at the 200 period moving average to get a little bit. It looks like NVIDIA is still trying. Its VWAP is now 943. I'm still going to sit here at 942 and try to respect 940. So that's going to be my level. I don't really want to get out of this. I'm liking the stock here. If we pull back and the market fades, fine. But we're right at 18.7, Obi.
Yes, sir.
So I'm almost thinking about like chilling out and maybe even going into the futures short right now because of the level that we're at. But I do understand that I'm long NVIDIA and going short the futures
Yeah,
wouldn't have the proper confluence
yeah, for
to
sure.
that
for
trade.
sure.
But I see you got a great one going on there for LI Auto. So congratulations on that so far. Let's see where that can go for you. Any specific targets? Have you gotten out of anything yet on Li Auto?
Nothing really. I just did observe a couple thousand lots at that 2130, kind of a random price there. Got filled right away, smashed it, and then now we're holding a little bit of that level here. Bit extended to the downside, but let's see. Again, we're talking about a kind of a multi-year breakdown off of these levels on earnings. So I think that talking about the offside trade. Maybe some long-term participants potentially offside below some of these prices here, but what do I know?
Sheesh,
Let's
here we
see
go.
what we got in store. I'm looking left here, maybe some kind of support here at that 21, just below that 21 level, but again, nothing too crazy there. All-time lows, is it all-time lows? I guess October 22, the low is 1250. Now I doubt we're going to get all the way down to 1250. I don't think the volume on the day or the ATR or kind of the volatility really warrants that kind of a move intraday. But let's see where we get to over the next few days here post earnings. But yeah, that size coming in off of that 2130s, and we are holding as of right now. So let's see what we do in and around here. But that 8.7, oh boy, we're pushing fresh highs on the end.
We also have, we also have Alibaba, a brand new position right now as well. So $7, $7 in the money, NVIDIA, a dime in the money on Faraday. Brand new position here for Alibaba as we start to go up to highs. If you want Adara, say something in my ear. Adara.
Yeah, we have Carnival Cruise Lines here, CCL on the NY here, up about 5%. Looks like this could be a sympathy play with Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, NCLH, currently holding their investors meeting where they've raised their outlook for the second time in less than 3 weeks. So nice look here for some of these cruise line names, guys.
Cruise lines, you say? You ever been on a cruise?
No, not yet.
Same. All right. Buy the long, says D-Rob, while you can. Things will fall apart soon. I don't know. I do think that there is a risk to everything falling down. I mean, we've talked about that. But, I mean, in order to fall down, you got to break certain levels. And right now, 18.7 held. That was a level that we really liked. We talk about the futures all the time here. And I think I might be. I know Sharif sometimes trades them, and I know Adara's been into that level as well. So we'll still trade them all the time here, and I really like this 18.7. So there it is. It's holding it. We said go short if it faded it, but it didn't. It started to go up. So obviously we're all longs. I have 3 longs right now. But into this trade, 18.750 right now, trying to hold for the NASDAQ. So let's just see if it does. Here comes Alibaba. This one could be, so we punched in here because on this move up, it faded out. So now we have VWAP back here. We like to play fades into VWAP. So if this comes back in, we're going to buy more, and then we're going to get out if it breaks it. So for me, for Alibaba, like maybe 87, I mean, I'd like to buy. Let me just make sure where my buys are here. I don't want to buy too early here. Let me cancel this. We need to be buying in and around 88. I just put a bid at 88.20. That's the bottom there. I'll take a fill, but realistically, I think I like 88. It's kind of going against my thought though here, Obi, because I know you're short a stock into a market here that's ripping up, but
Yeah, a little disconnected though because it has earnings.
That's
right?
what I was saying. Like, so that makes sense. Alibaba's had such a huge run that we may be buying some of the tops here. So I think that comment there about watch out for buying tops, that Alibaba could be in that area. So I agree with that. So 87.60 is going to be my out. So next average in, not until 88. We're $8 in the money on NVIDIA. That's our number one trade here today. That's going to be the number one P&L for me here, obviously, so far. And I want to hold this breaking through 950. I don't necessarily want to add to the break of 950, but I don't even think that's a horrible trade. As here we go, man. We're at the highest level we've been at all day. As there goes Alibaba back up to the upside, and we're getting ready to rock and roll. Oh, shit. Forgot that we had Apple offers right now. Bad move by me. We are now short Apple. I am going to put a bid. Actually, I am going to punch out of Apple right now. That was a baby trade. I do no longer want that position on board, although Apple just came back in. We were short 190.50. If you like this call off the sticky note, we're looking at 191 short for Apple. So I'm going to get out right now out of that 190.50 for a 5-cent hit, and we're going to wait to see what happens now. As there it is.
Holy.
It's 10 in the money now for NVIDIA. As we're breaking through, see you 950. It was really nice to know you, you know, and it was there for a minute or maybe longer. 950 going once, 950 going twice, sold to whoever that was that sold 950s that now has to buy them back at 950.50. So let's see what happens now. Back up to the upside. Hey, it's your banger of the day. It's your number one trade idea on the sticky note. It is NVIDIA long. It is $11, and it is a graduation moment for anybody that took it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I'm just patiently waiting for this this LI. It is kind of consolidating here, 21 halves. It did kind of get a strong sell-off off of the open there, and we did get some size on the bid that is getting smashed, but then we are holding above those prices. So again, taking a little bit of a breather here. Let's see if we can kind of consolidate. Do we get all the way back? Do we kind of revert to the mean? I have no idea. It is holding that downtrend quite steadily here. 2160s, tape speed increasing slightly a little bit, but with the market kind of super strong here. Oh, there goes Dell. By the way, Dell kind of got smashed off of that 154.50s high. So back through that 150. So I don't know what they're saying at that event there. I don't know if it's actually started as of yet, but again, they have an all-day event in Las Vegas today and going on for a few days as well. So maybe some interesting action there. But this was, I think, all-time highs on Dell, and yeah, we just kind of wicked it. About 5 points down from the highs right there, breaking back below that 150. So interesting action indeed. And Wix is continuing to go, doing about 1.2 mil volume now on Wix, and it's just gone. It's over, what is the low? Opening range low, 140, 148, 147 and some change, and now we're printing 161s on Wix. So, oh boy, is that a missed opportunity there, and it's kind of blasting as well. You can see the spread is quite nasty. It's been kind of 40 pennies to 90 pennies at times, sometimes kind of closing into 20, 25 pennies. So I'm kind of watching it. Let's see if it kind of overextends a little too far and starts to get a little weak. Maybe I can start to look to kind of fade that name as well. But with the market being this strong, 18,750 coming up right now. Can we get to 18.8, Sean? I have no idea. But oh boy, is this market hella strong right now. Consolidation on LI. Let's see if we can break that low. Are long-term players offside? Maybe a little bit. How long will they sell for? I have no idea. I don't know who's selling, but a little bit of sell pressure indeed.
We have good call again. Honestly, like we were sitting there for Apple. We lost 5 cents on this trade, but it'd be 30 cents out of the money if we'd still had it. So for me, that's a win right there. It is coming up. Now I feel a little safer about the short here on Apple. So we'll short this now against 191. But again, like we were not, we're out of NVIDIA. I didn't even get a chance to say that. On a 948 break, we'll take the $8. We'll say diamond hands to that. It tried to break 950. It was just $11 in the money. Greed is good, but it can also hurt you in the long run. So there it is, $8 out for that trade. It was the number one trade. We held it for a half hour. What else can we do, Obi? I mean, we gave it as much room as we could, and I think we did really good for that. It did go about It did go about, like when we first took that trade, it did go down against us about $2, which is why we took $3 our very first trade. Then we took 8, then we took 8 again. So right now it's not looking too good because it's back to 249, but I'm pretty happy with that trade here. So we'll put that on the board, get out of our NVIDIA and say congratulations to somebody or anybody that had that one with us. And again, remember, trade everything yourself. Like we always talk about, wait for it. I just didn't like that it broke off 950 there, started to get the feels, and I just put a stop in. So we put a stop in and it got triggered. There's not much else I can do about that. And it was a pretty good out. 947.50 is where we got out with that slippage. So that was okay. I mean, it would look, I have a little less than that. But so far, so good. So we'll see. And then just a new position. So we'll go, we always hit this when it's a new position. Oh, we have 2 new positions, actually. Faraday came in and gave us, not VWAP, the 200 period, but we hadn't looked at it in a minute. It's now under the 200 period as we've sort of matured up there a little bit. So we still have our stop breaking 70. The bottom of the day was 70 for Faraday. We've already done well on that reload right there and then out again at 2 or 198. So if we get a bump up right now, we'll take some more out as here goes Faraday. We're long at 77. You know what? I'll take an 81 if we can get it and add liquidity and get paid to do that. So let's take 4 or 5 cents here on Faraday for like that 15 or 20%. I want to get paid though. I don't want to pay for this fill. So it's going to have to break us to take that. And then when we do, we'll get a piece out. Then we'll start to massage in to Apple and things like that, watching out for that 1.9 to 1. I don't even want to look at NVIDIA anymore because I'm going to be upset if it still keeps going higher. But right now we have happening now with Adara. Apple might be just off.
Lots to look at so far in these markets today. Pretty exciting, eventful Monday thus far. We have the SPY and the NASDAQ continuing to the upside, even though we did get some comments from Fed's Bar this morning calling Q1 inflation, quote, disappointing. Markets not really caring, though, continuing to the upside. We have a lot on watch for the rest of this week, including lots of Fed speak and, of course, NVIDIA earnings coming up Wednesday after the close. But in terms of what's moving right now, a couple of investor days to watch out for. Norwegian Cruise Lines here up over 6%, raising their guidance, and also their executives saying that they have plans to generate roughly $9 billion in revenue for fiscal 2024. So nice look there. We also have Micron up almost 4% now, getting this price target increase from Morgan Stanley to 130, in addition to an upgrade from underweight to equal weight. And last but not least, JP Morgan initially having a nice move to the upside. It has its own investor day today as well. Now trading a little bit lower. Initially, they said they were raising their annual income interest forecast, so that was a nice look. Then said that they now see deposits to be flat. So trading a little bit to the downside is JPM right now, guys.
Okay.
What just happened to Apple there? Did I short sold. For some reason that's my mistake. All right, I put out the wrong. So first of all, Faraday just dumped. So, I mean, I see you guys in the chat talking about it. It just broke through. We got out at 70 there. So it's a 9-cent hit. We were long at 79. We had talked about putting on the position if we can get back into this dollar. So now that it's going to halt, I'm glad to be flat on the halt. Or if it halts, because it allows, see, there we go, big seller there. It'll allow us to get into position here on the halt. And I think the halt short is going to be right. So I don't know why this hasn't halted yet. It should have just halted right there. So Faraday right now on its own little run. All right, so we did get short Apple. We talked about that at 191. We like this 191 area. Obviously, we wouldn't have wrote it down if we didn't. So right now, 191 for Apple is a position for us. And then we did get out of NVIDIA. NVIDIA did go up to 951 again. And I was telling Obi, man, I'm going to feel ways about this. But at the same time, I feel like it's tough to watch these stocks and compare them to a Faraday or even to a Li Auto, something like that that has some news. When you're really just playing momentum with NVIDIA on an upgrade heading into earnings, I'm pretty happy taking the profit, putting it in our pocket, and just working on that next idea. So right now we're going to hold on to Alibaba. Faraday we've lost on, so that'll be our losing stock of the day. We'll talk about that, and I'll tell you when I'm about to get back in. It's actually coming back up. After a nice little move down into 150, now it's bounced back up to 166. But again, stopped out right there, bought some back, made some money back, but then ultimately stopped out, and now at our lowest point for Faraday, which isn't that much, but we're down on it, so I don't want to tell everybody that we're up. And then Alibaba right here as well, 88.50 right there for Alibaba is where we're trying. The dips into VWAP is what we're going to load up on, but now the 50 period is getting real close, man. So an 88 break on this, and we have a problem. I'd much rather go short now on the market with Apple. So that's what we're doing. We're shorting Apple up to 191. Look at these levels, Obi. I mean, I think if we're going to do something, this is the right spot. So we were pretty patient waiting for this. So let's see if we can put this one into the win column here.
Yeah, it's coming right into it. I like the break of that range again, a 3-day range between that 189, 191 on Apple, and yeah, the market's hella strong right now, still holding near its highs right there, just hovering underneath that 18.7 on the NQ, 5.340s on the ES here. So quite a move there, and I do agree with you definitely when it doesn't really have news, but like it's in anticipation, you got to pull out that price action playbook and play the price action on names like that when it doesn't necessarily have a direct catalyst on the day. But yeah, no, I'm kind of waiting for some of the large caps to kind of print some information, print some more chart, so that we can potentially look for opportunities to take out intraday players for the offside move using the price action playbook right there. But okay, so LI kind of holding this kind of very tight consolidation base here, 21 halves holding as of right now. There was some size that kind of did churn, and we are holding relatively above those levels here. So I am kind of watching it pretty close. Let's see if anything else kind of comes in here on the tape. I have a couple moving averages up. Let's see if we kind of violate some of those. The 15-minute just looks, we've printed two red 15-minute candles, and this one, as of right now, with about 10 minutes left to print, is printing green, with the opening price being 21.46. We're only about 10 pennies away from that opening price, so it could go green to red, red to green. It's been chopping around doing that in this consolidation as well for the past what is that, 9-ish minutes, 10-ish minutes right there. So pretty tight consolidation near the lows. There goes a little bit of a red on Wix as well. So again, I'm looking for that potential reversion on Wix. Whether or not I'm going to take it, I have yet to decide on that one there. So there comes some pressure on LI breaking through those consolidation highs into the 60s again. So I am maybe potentially looking to piece off if this kind of move continues there. But just trying to take the trade for what it is. It is kind of a little overextended to the downside here. Let's take a quick look at what the ATR is. I did check it earlier, but I just want to pull it up once again just to be precise. And $1.52 is the 14-day ATR according to FinViz here on LI, and we've done that off of the morning push, maybe not so much off of the open. Actually, we did do that off the open, 23s down to 21 halves, so we did kind of push a single ATR there. So pushing right back up into the 70s, right back into 22. So maybe I did hold this one quite a bit longer than intended, but yeah, let's see if we can get back through that 22. Maybe potentially room to add more on this ticker if we can get that sell pressure to come back in. If not, I was wrong to kind of hold it. I think it was 70 pennies in the money there, but holding it back up, maybe not the best idea, but again, being patient to see what this price action brings here on this move here on LI. Earnings day one, pushing into the 70s here, 21.70s, 22 potentially coming right back up. VWAP I have here on the 5-minute chart, 22.30s as well. So maybe I don't want to hold it all the way back there. Maybe that's a potential area to get some more if it does kind of creep right back up into those levels here. But we'll see. Still waiting for the next trade.
So we've only just made back what we lost on Apple. So like Apple, we got stopped out there, and then I was just like, what the, what's going even on with this stock? So we punched out at 20s, then we just punched back in at 30s, and that's where we're short right now. We've just been covering because I don't know what is going on with this. Like, why was Apple going so hard there to the upside? Like, while the market went hard too, but it just, like, from 190.75, it like just ripped up. And I know it's a $191 stock. It can go $1 with not even blinking, right? But I mean, at the same time, it just ripped up there. As soon as it started getting exhausted a little bit, we hit that short. So let's see if we can be up on it or not. We've covered now about 2/3 of that short, and we're still down on the stock. So it needs to break through 191. Otherwise, we're going to get out at 191.50 as it just continues its march higher and higher and higher. Good job for anybody that held on to Faraday. That's about all I can say there, because Faraday's right back upside there. But why you're holding on down into 150, I wasn't able to really figure that out. You know, there is a dip spot right there that we sort of bounced off of on that last halt, which is 148. So that could be a level to look out for sure. So good job if anybody held that, but this is going to be our red stock of the day, pending Apple, of course, Faraday futures. And by the way, look what worked. Alibaba. I mean, that just went 30 pennies for us almost immediately once that futures got going. So there we are, long at 47. There's our first out 77. There's our next out 85s, which is where we're at right now. So as we continue to go higher, it's Alibaba with a 40-cent winner. So similar to you on Li Auto, we'll sit here, we'll trade some of these Chinese names. So good job there on Li Auto for the short, and we'll take Alibaba long, right? I mean, a tale of two different names here. EV names have been struggling. We talked about earnings, and then Alibaba really starting to break out through some key levels as well, up 30% on the month. Alibaba, so don't sneeze, you might miss that trade. But Alibaba, nice move up into 90. We have an offer at 90 now to see if we can get that out. So if it continues to go higher, good for that. But for right now, Obi, I'm just sitting in Apple.
Yep.
So I like that trade there. And if Apple hits,
You're on the short?
we talked about that. What if Apple hits 200 today? Then you and I will lose that bet. But I love Apple. And I might get out of some of this during lunchtime or something, but this is a nice move right back up into last week's resistance levels. But it's not resisting much right now as we continue to go higher.
Yeah, we're kind of slowing down here on, again, we talk about that 18.7.5 on the NQ there. So we are kind of consolidating here. How much time is left for this 15-minute candle to print? I got about 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes left. So let's see what we do here. Quite strong right off of the open. 2 15-minute candles extending past that 18.7 and then another 50 points into the 18.7.5 there on the NQ. Softy taking a quick little pullback to its VWAP right there. Apple still kind of holding that 91 we talked about from last week, and Google as well holding near its highs, but Amazon pulling back. Nvidia kind of chopping that 950, and Spider is attempting to push for some fresh highs there. Day high 531.23, only about 10 pennies underneath that price on the Spider. So yeah, maybe the ES has a couple more points to go to the high side. But let's see if this extension kind of reverts back to the mean or not, or do we have some more push left at the beginning of the week? Quite a strong start to the week there, Sean. Dominic, thank you for the super chat. Morning trading fam, stay green. Sean, I've been holding FFIE since low, 74 cents, LOL. Wow.
The thing is, you got those shares. This is the thing, man. What's up, Dominic? I mean, this guy's a small cap guy, so he knows all about that. But just watch out. Like I said, man, that sort of bag of money that you can have can blow up there on FFIE. But I mean, you guys know what you're doing on that stock, 100%. I sit here and day trade it. We can't hold overnight. So all of my strategies and everything that I'm doing on FFIE about going short is just trying to play off some key levels. But right now, great trade as FFIE back to 178, Dominic, and obviously held that 150. So if you're long at 74 cents, I assume you've taken some out, and now you're probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, playing with some house money right now, Dominic. So yeah, again, a big congratulations to everybody that's been on some of these small cap names. And the thing about it is, those of you that trade these names, you know that for every, what is that, CKRN, you know, CRKN.
Yeah.
CRKN, there it is, Crown Electronics.
Yep.
So for every move that is a Faraday, that's a win like a Faraday future, you know, you could get caught up here too holding the bag as well. So you need to have these nice wins in order to sort of offset some of these other ones. But again, a big congratulations to everybody trading Faraday, FFIE, Faraday Future, not futures, up to 176. So, okay, we are reloaded now on Apple. We just got a 139. 191.39 there for Apple. So let's put something out in the 30s if we can. Take 7-8 cents, just like on that 10%. And then if we dip down even lower, then good for us on that, and we'll be happy with it. But right now, Apple really a confusing name. So if it breaks 190.150, I'm not going to be in this anymore. But we did get a huge move down where we were able to cover some of our early mistakes on this name. So there it comes back in again. We'll take that 30 fill instantly. Now it comes into 25. Here comes 24. Oh my God, Obi. Yes, Obi, this is going actually quite nicely for us right now to the downside for Apple again.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking for that reversion to the mean on Apple as well. But I think I'm going to stay a little bit more patient. But it seems like you have some of those highs right now. Market is kind of pulling back slightly. I'm looking at the NQs there, 18.7 half. I keep mentioning that over and over again. But yeah, let's see that 18.7 we talked about last week. A lot of interesting price action in and around that 18.7 as of last week. So let's see if we can kind of come back in there. Let's see what 18.7 potentially has got, if we can pull back to that level there on the NQ. A bunch of people mentioning AMC. What's going on with AMC right now? AMC breaking through day highs there, 470. So maybe GME moving around as well. Let's take a quick look. Not as much. Okay, AMC, it's all you, I guess, right now.
Yep.
475. Maybe let's see what we do with that $5 level right there. Friday's high being 497 intraday high, and then pre-market high being 508. So 5 definitely an interesting level when it comes to stonks, and stonks they are when we're talking about AMC and GME and the other meme friends as well. So let's see what we do in and around that. We were talking about a potential bounce. Let's see if there's going to be any follow through for the strength that does come in. I do have a bit of an anchored here off of last week. Off of last week's kind of breakout action in and around that 730, and then another one in and around this 569 as well. So kind of coming off of certain potential events that kind of happened on AMC. Let's see if we can get back towards some of those levels, and if that kind of pressure comes back in, or it doesn't, who knows? I have no idea. I'm just trying to play a little bit of the action here. But yeah, let us know what you guys are trading today. Quite a strong market off of the open if you are trading large caps and some of the bigger constituents of the market. Again, if you were trading Wix, oh boy, is it still going there? Doing about 1.6 million volume now, with the spread closing up quite significantly more than it was earlier. We were talking about a 90 penny spread at times, but now it's more of like a 30, 40 penny spread. But 165 coming in here on Wix, so quite a strong move there. I guess earnings was well liked by all the participants that are trading it today. Here, kind of keeps on bidding up and up. What is the short float on Wix, you may ask? I have no idea. I do have it up on my. I am asking, but I might be talking to myself.
Talked about, sorry, 2%. You said early in the morning.
Right. Yeah. 2% with an ATR of 5.45. So it has done well over its ATR, almost pushing 2 ATRs off of this 146 down here, intraday low right there on Wix. So, oh boy, if that reversion does come in, I will be potentially watching for that one, but still holding on to this LI short here, as it is kind of looking a little bit choppy and churny, kind of consolidating here in and around this 21 halves. Opening price was 22.72. Couldn't really get past that opening price. So let's see what we got in store here for LI Auto. But yeah, I'll be watching the chat for what you guys are trading here. Charles talking about Tesla. Is Tesla ready to move? I have no idea. Let's take a quick look at Tesla as well.
I like Tesla here.
Tesla. Sean says he likes Tesla here. 175. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely an interesting level. We saw that last week. Kind of blasted off of that 75 prior day high at 75.70s. Quite some strength there, but now kind of coming right back in. I do have a few anchors here, potentially from earnings or from some other events, but again, not really playing too much of a part today, it would seem. But holding a day low of 173.82 here on the Tesla. Let's see if we can get past this 178. Nice little green push on the last 15-minute candle here, with about 12 and a half minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print. There goes the NQ. Look at that. Are we setting up for a 3-bar on the NQ and the ES? There we go. A 3-bar. FUBAR?
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
Nice.
Apple just stopped us out at 191.50 there again. Like, as if, man. Like, we just got back in, but it's not. I still can't be able to figure this one out. So let's just try to, like, one more push for Apple. Like, this name up 1% here, 91.60. The top here, again, for Apple, we've sort of broke it. It's right here at 91.20. I just don't want to get away from this name. I remember what happened last week with Intel when we got away from it and then it absolutely tanked, and I looked back over and I had whatever 1,000 shares or something, and it was in the money. It turned out to be in the money like 70, 80 cents. Now, I wouldn't have held for that much, but instead we took a decent loss. No, it wasn't that much of a loss, but whatever, maybe it was 10 pennies or something like that, because it hit our level. That's what I'm saying. Like, financially, it wasn't the end of the world, but it hit our level, and the next thing we knew, we were stopped out and looking back at it and saying, like, what have we done? So let's not try to do that again here. And we'll just see if we can sit in this Apple trade for one more second. I did want to look at AMD. So we did really well getting out of NVIDIA because NVIDIA just went to 944. Now you're right back to this 948. This is seeming like a pretty key area right now, especially if we're going to start to dump off some of these levels. I'm thinking the market's overdone here today so far because I didn't really see a specific catalyst, but we could still look at the US dollar and look somewhere else to see if there is sort of an indication that can get us off of some of these trades. So, but for right now, again, there goes Apple right back to highs. And look, it's a good thing that we switched over, Obi, and went over to a weaker name like an AMD, because now when this name falls in, you know, we can have something to the short side that we sort of believe a little bit more than Apple. But for right now, AMD under the 200, and we're going to wait to see if it does hold that level. So 166 break, I think we can get off of that. 166.30 is a little bit of a better area. So up into 166. Let's take some profit here for 15 cents as we just get hit on the bid, and then we'll see how this is dropping in and Apple's going up. So good trade there for AMD so far to the downside. Got to take some profit though. Go and count your chickens before they hatch. All right, over to the big board now with Adara as we wait to see what Apple's doing.
IWM pulling to the downside a little bit here. Just slightly positive on the day, still completely ignoring that previous resistance area around that 208.50. So it could be an interesting look here for the IWM. Let's take a look as well at some of these small cap riders, including Hims and Hers Health. This one, a smaller cap, about $3 billion market cap. Still up about 30% after announcing adding its GLP-1 injections to its weight loss portfolio. Worth noting they do have an 18% short float. Interesting short float as well for PLCE, the children's place. This one has a short float of about 26%. Not any news on this, but nice move to the upside with pretty strong volume, so good look for PLCE. Last but not least here, Multi-Metaverse, MMV here, up over 200%. This one apparently set to acquire 100% of Boang AI. So nice look there on an acquisition-related news for MMV, guys.
Oh my God, Boang AI, the hardest property on the street. They're getting that? No, I'm just joking. I have no idea what that is. All right, so we'll take up for MMV, another one of those names. We've really left Faraday alone. I don't know if you're looking at any of these names at all, like a Faraday or anything other than Li Auto. But for right now, AMD is starting to go for its run, by the way. The market is taking out highs. So these shorts will get squashed, obviously, but AMD just goes right up there into 166. So watch out for that 166.20 possible break to the upside there on AMD. So we'll wait. I mean, it's kind of falling apart here for us trying to hold some of these. So let's just wait to see if we're going to be right or wrong on it. But right now, AMD, we're short at 165.55.
Yeah, a bunch of people in the chat were asking, oh, what is a 3-bar? What is a 3-bar? All right, so again, just a little bit of a chart pattern, candlestick, maybe some potential price action. But okay, so I just searched up a quick Google image of the one I'm looking for. Now again, there's 3-bar reversal patterns as well, but a quick little kind of an insight. So you get a strong bar, right? You've seen the strong bar right there, both on the ES and the NQ, and then you get an inside bar as well. So we trade kind of muted on the next one, and then you get a little bit of continuation. So basically, what does that mean? Kind of, you have strength, you have consolidation usually being a little bit of a continuation pattern to see if it kind of continues, and then the next bar continuing that same momentum or action that happened in the first bar over. Now you can also have a reversal where it does attempt right? You can see a potential reversal also setting up. It does attempt, and it comes right back down, kind of trapping the players who are looking for that 3-bar and them being offside. Again, a little bit of I guess an offside trade or a momentum trade as well. So 3-bar pattern, again, not really one to trade off of just purely patterns, as I think Mark Douglas astutely says, that patterns definitely repeat in the market, but the results that they produce and the price action that they produce not always consistent. So you do have to kind of watch that. Again, I like to play the offside, which is like, all right, well, if people are getting into that and then that doesn't necessarily happen, those players, whoever got in, expecting the 3-bar continuation to happen now are offside, so maybe we can take some money from those guys there. Yeah, no, it's kind of just a chart pattern there is what I was mentioning with the 3-bar. 3-bar off the 21 says PGZ. Yeah, maybe we'll see. Is this a pullback finally on Wix? Who knows? 165 highs there. What's going on, Sean?
Nah, just I blew everything up trading Apple, and AMD meanwhile is just crushing to the downside. I mean, AMD, like that was so far so good on that look, I guess, for AMD as this name just continues. I mean, we waited for that 200 period to come in there for AMD and kind of loaded it up a little bit there. So that was a good one for us on AMD as we just got a 13 fill. Meanwhile, like I'm just like basically turning my wheels here and spinning my wheels and losing. As Apple remember I just said jokingly, oh, Apple having a problem in China must go long. I mean, that's exactly what's been happening today. So we'll say that we got the idea wrong, but we got the idea right, but the trade wrong on that one. I mean, yeah, Google high of day. Look what's happening to AMD right here, by the way. We're getting, like, this is going to be a decent trade for us on AMD
Doing
here.
The same thing again?
I still want to short Apple, but I've just lost going short this whole way up on Apple. And it's been like, ugh. It was good early. We had good trades on Apple, and then we're just like, we're taking fills and we're taking cuts, and we're taking fills and taking cuts. But yeah, like, see, now that it's starting to come back in a little, it's not even really, I'm thinking about it. So right here, let's just hold AMD. I mean, I don't know how low this name could go. We're under the 50 period, looking for some more areas here for advanced micro. And NVIDIA is still staying up, so that is a little different to me. AMD only up 0.36, market up 0.5, so weaker than the market. If we lose this 165, I mean, we could go back into sort of, what is this level? 164, 164.20. Let's put a bid at like 164.70, assuming that we already did lose it. I didn't even realize that. All right, so I was gonna say, assuming we lose this, let's put something a little bit lower. So you know, like how Roaring Kitty like gets up like that? You might have just saw me do that right there. So here it is. Yes, sir, Obi, we got it. There's that 85. We just get that print. So there it goes nicely to the downside. Yes, sir. It is AMD. AMD and NVIDIA, my two #1 P&L names by far, obviously, and FFIE and Apple, red. So those two names, red, everything else, Greensville, as we look to struggle along here with some of these fills.
Yeah, it's. I was talking about that kind of a range on AMD earlier, and yeah, oh boy, did I miss that one. We were talking about this. Look at that Thursday, nice little push up into 168. Comes right back in. The next day, does the move in the pre-market, opens up above that 168, clips that 169, comes right back into 163s. And look, more of the same today. So it seems like maybe some sell pressure sitting in and around that 168 as is pretty much kind of printing a very similar move on the day there, about almost 3 points below that 168 now, selling coming right back in. So let's see if we are going to continue to make higher lows as we have been into this a little bit of a multi-day resistance here at that 168 on AMD. 165's breaking now, pre-market lows breaking as well. So any and every long that was long in the pre-market now offside, but it seems like the swings are definitely the ones who are in the money here. 150s just last week on Tuesday and pushed all the way to 170s. Now we're getting a little bit of a maybe head and shoulders action, whatever. But 168 is looking like a bit of an interesting level here for selling on AMD, coming right back in. Let's see if we can get back into the low 160s. 162 was day low, just above on Friday. So potentially there, Sean, you might be sitting very pretty in that short off of 165.69. Nice trade there, Sean.
Yeah, thanks. So far, so good here. I'm still so upset about Apple. All right, so yeah, so there goes AMD. AMD is now $1, and we loaded it up. I mean, we got some good fills there, so we cannot complain about anything like that. I was really almost, and I almost brought this up in the morning, and I sort of forgot about it. Palo Alto with their report coming. Is it tonight? It is tonight, I think. Yeah. Let me just see. I think this name actually has a little bit of a short float. Hold on a second. I'm going to say like 6. Here we go. Palo Alto, May 20th. So that's tonight, post-market. So a short float of 4%. So there's something there, but nothing huge as they're going to come through tonight. So again, a nice little bounce up. Chart looking really good. I like Palo Alto. We recently bought it down here at 260, which turned out to be a good buy, but it came back up to 320 and then faded right back out again. So very, very interesting report coming tonight for PanW. It should be a lot better than the last one, I would assume. Okay, so what was our best out here on AMD? Because it is trying to come back upside a little bit right there. Yeah, so we got good outs, man. We got like a 50s, maybe a, what is that? Maybe a 60, maybe something like that. So now that we're starting to bounce back, let me just take one more fill here at 95. If we're able to, there it is. If we're able to get it, which we just got, and then we're going to watch out for that possibly pulling back. We have an amazing 12-cent winner now on Apple. I say that just jokingly because of how mad I am at this stock. As there it is, I tried to put a bid and it just rips back up. So we'll bid 190, 150, see if it comes back in right now on Apple. What a disaster that name's been. 150 just stopped on a dime there. So a little bit of a move back for Apple. Look how smooth our short's been on this. Never against us. Good trade there as opposed to Apple. That's been an absolute nightmare. I want to go short on something now. If you're going to look at a longer time frame, Obi, and I know you're already in Li Auto short, so that's already working for you. But you're just right up to that top that we saw on Thursday, so, or the 16th. 19th, 17th is Thursday, yeah. So right there, that top of 18, I mean, basically where we're at right now, 18,760. So good little top there. Let's see if we fade out on the rest of this market. I don't really have much going for me other than AMD and Apple right now. And Alibaba long, I mean, the Alibaba long, let's just call it like it is. I mean, this name, play a strong name and you get rewarded. I mean, I just thought Apple was weak. So we played AMD looking weak against the market here, and then Baba strong. We knew Baba from last week. So kind of a day 5 play maybe after breaking through that $80 level. So good earnings for Alibaba. What's up, Adara? I have to run to the bathroom.
One thing to keep an eye on for crypto this week is actually coming later in the week. We're talking Thursday and Friday, and that's when we're going to be getting potentially the Van Eck ETF Ethereum ETF approval on Thursday and the ARK21 shares Ethereum ETF approval deadline on Friday. We're not sure if we will get that approval yet. There's a lot of speculation in the crypto community, but the deadlines for those two Ethereum ETF approvals are going to be Thursday and Friday. So keep an eye on Ethereum this week as that discussion heats up as we get closer and closer to those deadlines. We also have Bitcoin itself here, seeing a little bit of resistance, that previous area of rejection going back to about a month ago now, late April, having that rejection around that 67,000 area, but bouncing very nicely off of that chop and churn area of that 61,000 that we had for quite some time. So nice look here for BTC. Bitcoin slightly down to the day, Ethereum slightly up on the day and holding on to that that 3,000 level pretty well here. And a lot of mixed reactions to some of these other crypto related names. We do have BNB slightly to the downside, but Solana, nice look, up about 4.5%. Dogecoin up almost 1%, Tron up almost 1%, Cardano, Shiba Inu to the downside. So very mixed picture here as we head into the very exciting Ethereum ETF approval deadline week, guys.
All right, thanks, Adair, with that crypto update. Yeah, I know a lot of anticipation for those Van Eck ETFs whenever they come out. Again, we saw kind of the reaction that we had with that IBIT when that came out, and again with a few of those Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs coming out. Maybe some potential volume coming in as well. All right, the futures holding this 750 that we were talking about here. So still kind of consolidating, holding near its highs off of the open there. I'm still waiting for a little bit of weakness to show up here on Wix, and it doesn't seem like it's there at all. It is kind of slowing down, kind of consolidating sideways off of this morning move there. You can see quite strong, pushing almost 2 million volume with a 1.8 as of right now. The bone broth saying GME getting destroyed. Okay, so let's take a quick look at GME and AMC on the day here. So I don't know about destroyed, but it is kind of pulling back off, making potential fresh lows here on the day on GME 21.20. This consolidation just here above 20 last week on Friday. But before that, we're going to pass to Dara.
Be aware here, Feds Jefferson speaking right now, saying that the restrictive monetary policy has weighed on the housing market, saying the housing market is one of the areas they're still keeping an eye out for. Also, though, saying that basically some more, I guess, less hawkish comments necessarily than expected, saying that he's going to be continuing to assess this data, expect consumer spending growth to slow later in the year, but also saying it's too early to tell if the recent slowdown in the disinflationary process will be long-lasting. So kind of mixed comments here coming out of Feds Jefferson today. We also still have Feds Mester and Feds Bostic speaking later today, guys.
Be watching out for any of the Fed speakers that may or may not say something that will move the markets here. All right, so we're getting back to the meme stonks here. So AMC looking distinctly different with that from that GME to the downside. AMC holding some of its highs there. We talked about that $5 level potentially being interesting, holding that 4.5 as of right now on AMC. Now, let us know if you have any other meme stocks on watch. I know that I got my list right here. NVAX and FFIE, kind of interesting for me as well. So NVAX pushing towards its highs with a low of 1269 as of right now. So quite some strength off of the open there. Pushing back towards this Friday consolidation. We saw what happened on Friday, quite a strong quadrunk right off of the open, and then consolidates in about a 50 penny range for the rest of the day. And now we are kind of pushing past that 50 penny range, 13 halves as of right now. So anybody and everybody getting short on a Friday in and around most of the day, where most of the day's volume kind of went in. Maybe potentially offside above this 13 half. So let's see if that kind of comes in there on Novavax. FFIE, let's take a quick look at this one. Still within its opening range here, kind of dipped down to that 160, pushing right back up into that 170s as of right now. So I'm going to stay patient on this one. Don't really have too much right now, but we're going back to Dara.
Keep an eye on Apple. Not seeing much of a reaction here yet, but Apple Insider reported that Apple is actually looking to start the production of 2-nanometer chips. So they sent COO Jeff Williams to Taiwan so they can get a potential to secure the first batch from TSMC. So TSM and Apple on watch here, guys.
I mean, as if, like, we knew something. Basically the only red name, we will have FFIE, but FFIE is nothing. The only red name that we really will have is Apple, and then there you go. I mean, now there's the story. We didn't hear anything about this with TSMC. Obviously, now we get the story, which makes a little bit of sense why there's all this buying, like program buying, that basically has been on this stock the whole freaking day. So hopefully we come back in, man. We're green today. Someone, I think it was Donnie Zimbabwe, asked, are we making money today? Yeah, we're making money. We're green. But like we gave back some of that first NVIDIA push based on what just happened with Apple. So, I mean, part of, where's my bid for AMD? Okay, I'm just going to buy some AMD right here. I mean, that was a nice move down right there for AMD. I didn't even notice that. We should have put a bid at the low of the day. I know Obi was talking about, okay, here we go. Now Apple's coming in. Sorry, Obi was talking about 62 as a possible, like,
kind of if it does the same range, right?
If. And that's the other thing you look at, actually, that I don't look at that much as well. And you and I have talked about that, average true range.
Oh, yeah.
I see that's something that you look at. So like if you notice that AMD has a chance, its true range is $6 and maybe it's only moved 3, then you know that there is that potential if the market gets going, excuse me, to make that move again. So thanks for bringing stuff up like that, Obi. As every trader behind us has something unique that they're looking at. I know every single day. So, and just like you today, I've already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names, and you're just still in the same one.
Yeah,
So that's
you know me. I like to pick a couple of names on the
Exactly,
day,
exactly.
and really kind of put a lot of focus into those. See if they kind of set up with my playbook. And sure, sometimes we're not doing it well every day, but the goal is to kind of get better at doing
That's-
just that every day. And then hopefully when I get to your level, I can trade a lot more stocks and have a much wider playbook there.
high level. No, dude. Honestly, man. I mean,
You've
honestly,
been trading for over 20 years. So
I know, but what I'm
it's-
saying is like, don't you don't want to get to my level. The experience people have. This is the thing. It's like this. Would you rather have someone young and new on your team that has been fresh ideas, or an old face? Like, this is the thing.
A little bit
You
of both.
don't act exactly. You don't actually. It's not like I'm learning more than you every single day. Like, you've been in that chair with Neil, myself now for a year and a half, 2 years. So every day we're all piling on to more and more and more. So that's what I wanted to say. Like, everybody watching us, don't get stuck. Like, I don't have as much experience. You might not have as much risk, right? But as far as experience, if everybody's been watching the show, understanding how we're trading and things like that, you've been in live mode, you're ready to rock and roll. I just want everybody to have that confidence that although not everyone's going to have like Nolan Ryan or something like that, where you get all this experience and you're still part of the game, and man, it's forever changing. And just ideas like that, when you're talking about true range, stuff that I might not even be thinking about, boom, you can instantly get that leg up, right? Putting in the hard work, which you're already doing, Obi Man. And I mean, all that stuff that you're doing after hours, reading podcasts, reading books. You know, the last book I read, I can't even remember. So that's the whole point. Yeah, probably Handmaid's Tale. No, I'm just joking. My wife loves
Ramin's
Handmaid's Tale, by the way. What did Ramin say?
Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat?
Hey,
Maybe.
Dr. Seuss, quite a good writer.
You
You
it's
know?
not
He's
just
got
that.
some bars.
It's not just that. It's like, I don't really care. I like to see what other people are thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
But I always think that people that do and people that don't teach. You know, like someone's there writing a book. Why are they doing that? So they can make income off of it? Right? And sure they have some great ideas, but at the end of the day, it's sitting here pushing keys and making those winning trades. And at the end of the day, we always talk about it. The goal, if you're going to sit in this seat, the goal is to make money.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, no matter how you're going about doing that, right? So you got to sort of stick in your lane. We talk about Adara. We had a Q&A on Friday, one of our favorite market recap shows, and it was like someone said, once you go into from sim to live, what is the one thing? If I'm struggling in I'm struggling in live from going from sim. What is something you could focus on? And it's actually what you're doing was my suggestion. Focus on fewer names. You know, if you can focus on fewer names, then your strategies will become clearer. And then what you said again, then you can adapt it to more symbols.
Yes.
But make sure it works on what you're trying to do first, and then start to adapt. That's what I like, and that's why we have that midday show where they'll talk about different strategies, and you can necessarily find which one works best for you. You may say, oh, Golden Cross isn't that my jam? Fine. Maybe breakouts are, and there's a breakout show that they've done. So different strategies like that is what it's all about. Without any further ado, it's Adara at the screen.
Pretty clear that we're seeing a lot of leadership here to the upside in these two tech sectors. Far and wide greener than the rest of what we're seeing here today. Electronic technology, nice look. Apple, NVIDIA, and all these other chips to the upside. NVIDIA, couple positive analyst notes here heading into its earnings on Wednesday. And Micron getting a nice price target increase and upgrade from Morgan Stanley. So nice look there for those two names. Microsoft and Google also holding down the fort in technology services. So nice look for a lot of these names as well. Keep an eye as well on PANW, Palo Alto Networks, within these sectors because they have earnings tonight. We also have some strength in producer manufacturing. AMAT, Applied Materials, day 2 of earnings today, so nice look for them. Bit more mixed in finance, health technology, consumer services, consumer durables, retail trade, consumer non-durables. So a lot of these sectors are going to be a little bit mixed and flat today. Retail trade, though, one to watch. We have quite a few retail earnings to keep an eye out for the rest of the week. TJX and Target among them. We also have a little bit of weakness here in energy and minerals. Oil initially strong, but curling down a little bit today, guys.
I cannot say it like Sharif. So I'll leave it for him. But I'm going to say big shout out to Big Kyle Burdett right there. So there that is that people in the chat saying, look, they learn something from us every day. And that's what's important. And I think the more you watch, the more you can understand, the quicker you can adapt your trading style to either something that we're teaching you or vice versa. And Obi, I mean, there it is right there. I get these names wrong all the time. But there's Apple. So now Apple, we still got our position on. We're making back like 35, 40% of what we had lost right here on this one move. And that's if we cover all right now. If it goes down, obviously we'll be making a little bit more than that. But as it retraces back into the 50-period moving average, we finally just, remember, we got stopped out there. So 191.60. Then we started averaging all the way up. This is dangerous. This is why like Obi's like, oh, that's like a good hold, or like, you know, now it's starting to come back in. And I'm like, yeah, like thanks, Obi. Like it's true. But at the same time, I lost too much trying to fight it there all the way up. And what I'm learning is stay with ideas that you have, but sometimes there's other things that are happening. You know, like, for example, Tim Cook or product design or whatever, that individual, that it wasn't Tim Cook, but who Adara mentioned there was heading to Taiwan to get the semis and the chip game figured out with TSM. You know, when that's running in the background, all of a sudden people are hearing this before it's, you know, real news and buying this up. Or it's a story that didn't get much coverage that people believe in, right? So sometimes you do have to battle back and forth. And then no matter how right you are, and I'm going to pass over to you in a minute because you have a lot to say, obviously, all the time as well. But look at Alibaba. It goes all the way up into 89. And we took out 60% of this trade. It stopped at 89. I canceled my 89 and got out at 88.90, so we did not have a tick there. I was waiting for that high. So maybe a little bit of greed here coming for Alibaba. Watch out for 88.20. Pull back into VWAP. That's my next long area. And then probably a punch out around 87.60, the 200 period. But right now, the whole after the madness play is Apple. Like I don't really have, my AMD is a great trade, for sure, but we emptied a lot of it out when we got back into the bottom. So far, so good there. Man, I'm getting exhausted. I need to get one of those matcha tea lattes to get some crazy.
With a double espresso.
I just got another little small coffee, so I'm double espresso? Nah. So I don't think, honestly, maybe it's because like I'm Italian and I was drinking espresso when I was petit peu, but this caffeine doesn't do a heck of a lot to me. At all.
I mean, if you've been having it for so
tired.
long, yeah. I think I remember while I was.
It's like you know you can. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Obi.
No, go.
No, nothing. It was about.
I remember while I was in school, I used to pretty much down monsters.
Not diagnosed.
Monsters, and Monsters have quite a bit of caffeine. I might as well have had an IV with Monster. That's how many Monsters I used to drink, and I would be like, oh, this is still not enough caffeine. And then I moved on to caffeine pills.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
You did?
well, yeah. And then I was like,
Holy shit, you're pretty hardcore.
Yeah, and then I kind of maybe messed up my health a little bit off of that. But then
Caffeine pills, though.
yeah, that's getting a little serious there. But caffeine pills not too bad. But you know, when the Monster stops working, you got to be like, oh, I need some harder drugs to keep me awake. But yeah, no, you can definitely desensitize yourself a little bit there by having a lot of coffee. Now, I did start drinking a lot more coffee after I came to the floor, but I like to keep it a little, yeah, exactly, right? Long days, gotta stay on the ball, gotta stay in the zone. Coffee definitely helps with that. I think there's been studies where it's shown that caffeine actually helps you enter flow state. So it's like, all right, well, I was like, if I can use it effectively and responsibly, then yeah, definitely I'm going to be adding a little bit of coffee
By the way,
in
Apple,
the mornings and afternoons. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Apple
there
did the
it
downside.
goes. 2 15-minute reds
We
now
did
after
it.
that strength.
We
Oh
finally
boy, nice.
did it. Are caffeine pills legal? Is caffeine legal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah, you
man.
can get them at the pharmacy.
Want to know what a caffeine pill is? Just go get yourself a coffee bean.
Yeah, exactly. Pop
Pop off. Right there. Ramin said something on our, again, it might not be the best show. The midday show might be the best show, but the market recap show on Friday, Ramin and Adara spilled a secret where they actually put espresso into their teas and get lit up.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Oh, okay, there you go.
There it is.
Tea and espresso from Ramin. Yeah.
Nice nails.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if I'm that serious. I don't know if I've come to the point where I'm like adding the espressos to my drinks just yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. You're
Triple espresso. Damn, Ramin. Okay. She's definitely awake.
I've probably had like maybe 2 coffees today, honestly, like because both I asked Adair to get me another one in the morning because it got completely cold, and then I only filled this one up half. So we'll chill, but back to trading. All right, so AMD, Xiaon won, so we'll short again right now, but we look how patient we were. I told you we emptied the clip out. We had like 15, 20% left down there. There's the reload on AMD as it comes right back up to that 166, and we actually just got 165.90, actually. So or 99, sorry. 99s actually, yeah, that was our fill right there. 166.99. Sorry, I was looking at Apple because Apple's trying to make that move and just stalling out a little bit right now. So I'll put a bid at 35. You see all those ones printing again? Me no like, so I don't like when that happens. I haven't been able to figure that out. Look at all the ones printing here. They do this all the time on this name, and I don't know why. And they've done it on a lot of the big cap names. They're searching for, I know why they're searching for liquidity, but haven't been able to solve it. Oh my, Obi, this is what we're talking about.
Nice.
Get a little face slapper off right there as we go AMD top to bottom again. So we just shorted AMD 166. I mean, what else, Obi? What else? I mean, that's the trade.
Solid, yeah.
So this is what I mean. You got to wait for your opportunities, and when they come, you should strike. And there it is right there. So.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
Damn, I am going to
kinda
go get that iced
working on
coffee
as
at
well.
McDonald's, though.
Yeah, the dollar drink one. Yeah. Do you
go
have
for
to have
my walk.
the app for that one?
Or it's $1.50.
Okay, yeah. If you
I
don't,
saw the
search
scam.
for
I
the app.
figured it out. So it's $1 drink days.
Yeah.
But if you want the iced coffee, it's $1 for the small, $1.25 for the medium, $1.50 for the large. But if you order it on the app,
Yeah. Nice.
then listen to this. If you order it on the app,
Yeah.
then that's a wrap. There, that finally came out.
Okay,
Took a
okay.
minute to get that out there, but we'll do that. I like ordering on the app. You get the points.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I'm a little frugal, anyways,
Yeah. No,
as you can tell by my trading.
those iced coffees from McDonald's, I definitely like those as well. Apple still holding that 191 half right now. So we talked about that second potential red coming in on the 15-minute. It seems like we just went red to green as the ES and the NQ, some fresh highs there. Oh boy, so we're still going. So that 18
Oh boy.
potentially coming in on the futures, the DAC specifically, and yeah, the ES kind of pushing as well. So what is the Spider up to? Spider still climbing up that spout a little bit right there. 531 halves is the high a day there. 15-minute prior bars have not been violated since the open. That is some strength to say on the Spider as well. So yeah, so I got NVIDIA kind of chopping sideways in and around that 950, so maybe a little bit of consolidation before we potentially continue. Goggle, a little bit of a pullback as well on that one, that 15-minute, that strength kind of breaking from the morning session there, quite strong as it was. Yeah, Microsoft as well, still chopping and churning in and around that 425 there with a 426.77 high. So just waiting on some of those to see if we can get a potential pullback right there. And yeah, you were talking about AMD. AMD kind of pulled back a little bit, but still quite a strong downtrend on the day. Again, I'm watching SMH as well. SMH, very, very strong, looking very similar to the NQs as well. Nice little clip of that 18,770 on the NQ, but about 8.5 minutes left for this 15-minute candle to print. So we still got a lot of time for that to come to fruition
Are
there.
we having an oh boy moment right now?
Oh, we've been having oh boy moments since last week there. Sean.
Oh boy, Obi.
boy.
All right, let's go back over the desk and get an oh boy dollar moment with Adara. And by the way, AMD, guess what? Locked and loaded. We reloaded it at 166, another 20 pennies. Oh boy, Obi, we getting going.
Pretty flat here for the second day in a row for the DXY. Slightly positive, just hanging out around this 104.50 area, recovering nicely after we fell into the bottom of this area here, this 104.20 20s after the CPI print we got on Wednesday. But it is worth noting as well here, no economic data to speak of these next 2 days, but lots of Fed speak. We did have Fed Vice Chair Barr earlier today calling Q1 inflation disappointing, but saying that the Fed's currently in a good place to hold rates steady. So maybe not a great look for people looking for rate cuts. We did, however, have Fed's Jefferson coming in around 10:30 saying that he actually thought that we had some nice inflation numbers coming in April. So a bit of mixed sentiment, as always, coming from the Fed. We do have Fed's Mester coming in at 2 p.m. and then Fed's Bostic coming in at 7 p.m. And tomorrow, a whole slew of Fed speakers. We get Fed's Waller and Barkin at 9 a.m., Williams at 9:05, Bostic at 9:10, Barr at 11:45, and then Fed's Collins, Mester, and Bostic tomorrow at 7. So lots of Fed speakers to watch out for the next 24, 36 hours. Right now, they're just looking at Fed's Mester at 2 p.m. Until the end of this trading session, guys.
We identified, thanks to Dara, so lots of Fed speak coming through here today. I'm still on Apple. I'll talk about AMD in a minute as it's starting to go through 166. I have still VWAP here as a target, so a breakthrough 166.30, and we'll be off of this one. And again, we take the money when it's there, and now we'll average back in and make sure that we don't lose what we just put on. So right there, nice move back into the downside now for AMD, but will it hold? I don't know. It's got to break through 166 faux show. The reason that we look at this one more time here as AMD is starting to go is there's NVIDIA. We did good to get out for sure, but there's the bounce off of 946 coming through again. See it, Dara, 946, 945.50. It bounced right off VWAP. So although NVIDIA's above VWAP, the reason why we go short on AMD is we are still underneath. So here it comes, though. We're getting out very, very soon. If this keeps going up, then we're going to be out of here. You know what? We could change our price to 50s the way this is moving right now. This just reminds me again of what we already did on Apple, where it started to go, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God. So we're not going to average into this one, as AMD is starting to go back up to the upside right now and take out some levels. We're short right here at 13s. Was definitely not expecting this. This will be, looks like a 30, there it is, 30-cent hit there on AMD, as it was short for a minute and not now as we break above VWAP. So I'm thinking that really the 200 period is probably, remember AMD was only up 0.3 in the market. Now we're double the market. So off that bottom, good bottom picks there, bad layer into right now as we take that out at 40 and now go up to the upside on AMD. So maybe it's NVIDIA, maybe it's AMD, but AMD got going a lot more there than NVDA. So I don't know what was up with that, but nice move to the upside there for AMD. With NVIDIA not going, though, it makes this a little more interesting to maybe short this back into the downside now on a false potential breakout of 950 on NVIDIA. So that could have been the reason there for that move. We do not have what's for lunch today because there is no lunch today.
Damn.
So
Okay.
yeah, when it's a holiday, the caterers also get the holiday. All right, here's a little bit of a pullback now. That sucks to have gotten stopped out where we did, up there at 166.50. But again, I still feel like we broke the 200 period. Oops, that's NVIDIA. I was looking at this one. AMD. So looks like we can get a little bit of a fade back in. So let's see if we can hold this back into 165.50.
Yeah, there's a bit of a held bid on LI 21.28. So it was reserving for quite a while there. I was just waiting, patiently watching for it to see what it would do, kind of pop into the 21.30s. But that 28, a lot of reserves, a lot of mid prints that were going off there, and then finally we kind of cracked through it with an attempt at the 30s, but can't really get back to the 30s. Now we're back down into the 20s, breaking below that held bid for a little bit there. So let's see what we got. We got about 600 lots there on 21, only about a quarter away from that 21 price. It is quite heavy on the day. I'm watching the hourly candle as well. So the hourly got about 3 minutes left to print on the hourly, this 15-minute as well, 3.5 minutes on the 15-minute. About to break day lows at 23. So interesting that held bid would show up just a few pennies above that day low, and then now we're kind of trekking a little bit lower there. With the market taking a pullback as well on this 15-minute candle here, you can see that that 770 push wicked right back down. We're pushing right back down into this consolidation zone that we were having right there. Wick still holding near its high. So oh boy, I don't know about that one for the fade as of just yet. But if anybody got long that name, it did quite a bit off of the open there. So let's see if we can print 23s. 23s is the day low right now on LI. So let's see if we can get a little bit lower on this one, as again, quite a strong sentiment to the downside here, reflected by the price action on the day on LI Auto. But yeah, let us know what you guys are trading. Apple kind of taking a pullback as well. 192s, couldn't really get to 192s as of right now. 192s, 191.92 is the high on Apple itself. But yeah, maybe poised for a little bit of a pullback. There goes Softy breaking through its consolidation that we were having for a little bit, breaking back down below VWAP as well. And a little bit of acceleration to the downside there on the goggle itself. So maybe we are poised for a little bit of a pullback across these constituents there. There comes 23s. Got a little bit of an edge A there, so an inverse gate. On the bid. Let's see what we do with that. 23-day low is holding as of right now. Some size there at 20 as well that you guys can see. I did highlight the filter right there. So let's see if we can get and clip some of that size. Are we looking
Executed.
for liquidity? I don't know, but that 23 is day low as of right now. So any and every long that did attempt to get long in this consolidation would technically be offside at that 23. So let's see if we can kind of crack through them as well, with the market taking a quick little pullback. So there comes a size up to 24s as well. But yeah, I don't know. This could just all be just some noise here, but I am watching that push through day low here on LI Auto.
Yeah, Fed's, thanks, Obi. Yeah, Fed's starting to talk right now. Here we go, man. Apple's down, AMD is cracking lower. We're now set 50 cents in the money on both of these names. But you guys, give it up to Obi filling in for Neil here today. 900 likes only so far on the day. Let's get that going, over 6,000 watching. Let's get that like button.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Exactly. Let's pump those exactly. You tell him, Obi. Yeah, shit, Obi. Let's get those numbers going upside, guys. I mean, you've already heard. This is not from me. This is from Obi. This is from Obi right now. So let's get those numbers going. Appreciate that, guys. Let's see a little refresh. Did we just get over 1,000 on that right here? Let's see if we did, Obi. Little refresh. Come on, Mike. There it is. We're 917. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's give everybody
break that.
a little
Let's do a breakout through that 1K.
Yeah, let's give a breakout to those numbers. I like that, Obi. All right, so right now, let's break it out a little bit. There it is, a nice downside move for AMD. Trying to bounce off the 200 period, which I didn't notice. Let's put a bid there at 95 and get some out. We're waiting at 80s now to the downside for AMD. We still got Alibaba. We're not just too worried about that. Faraday Future, quick little look on here, 166. And I guess VWAP, again, plays. VWAP played every time. It played there where we got out. It just played again. And now back down to the downside. Congratulations on VWAP trading right there for Faraday Future. AMC, we haven't talked about this much today. AMC's been on one a little bit, man. Up 10% and not really stopping. As you can see, some nice lower highs being put in, or sorry, higher lows being put in here as we go. So nice move, higher highs, right? If we could take this out at 483, we'll create another higher high, and then we go. Watch out for $5 on AMC for sure, as that's been a key level. Last week on Thursday or Friday, we wrote down 425 as the bottom. It looks like that held there as well. We wrote down GameStop last week at 20. We played off 20 a bunch. Not sure why we didn't look at it today, because 21 has been the key right there for GameStop. So far, so good there for 21 on GameStop. And then Apple trying to make a move down. I feel like that news is maybe out of it now. Nice move back on the futures. Again, looks like we did we create another new high? I mean, the high in the NASDAQ is 18,760. And then today, how high did we get? NQ /M. Let's see how high we got. Yeah, 18,772. So a new all-time high today for the NASDAQ intraday. So nice move there for the NQs, taking it out, assuming that was made right here. Is that what that was? Yep, so that's it right there, Obi. What a surprise. Okay. There's the high, break through the previous high by 7 handles, and then head back down 30. So nice move. Oh, wow, it's 11:01. All right, Obi. Tell them that you'll be back at 2 o'clock. Will you be back at 2 o'clock?
I'll be back at 2 o'clock.
I like that. All right, Obi, let's throw it over to these guys. So you wrap it up.
All right, guys. Yeah, great morning session there. We're going to be moving on to the how to trade session with Sharif and Adara. So without any further ado, we're going to pass it off to them. See you guys later.
Ooh.
What is up, beautiful people? There we go.
You were extending that
A
out.
little bit, right? I was trying to do the chat. Welcome, everybody.
Muller, love every bit.
Beautiful people. There we go.
You were extending that
A
out.
little bit, right? I was trying to do the chat. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining Adara and I on How to Trade, formerly known as That Midday Show. Yeah, that's our girl, Adara, and I'm Sharif. And I'm long right now, goggles. Thanks to the Obe, the One, the Canoe for pointing that level out to me super quick there. So we'll just focus on that trade in a second. The whole point of this goggles trade here, it's a strong name, up 3/4, yada, yada, yada. It comes into the 50, and I see a couple of hold-up candles at there. That's what precipitated me to get into that trade. So we'll see how long this one lasts for. I was also long the dead one, but I got shaken out of this Apple trade as we came into the 10 period on the 5 on that one, and then definitely held up. So both trades today based on moving average technicals. So we'll keep an eye on what these guys are doing.
Executed.
Nice retracement off the top though there. Sean mentioning that 18,772. That is an all-time intraday high for the NQ. So we'll keep eyes on that. Adair, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this fine morning? How was your weekend?
Very good, very busy, and left me a little bit tired, not gonna lie. But we're gonna try to do this job because that's what we're paid for, I think.
Yeah, I like the good morning. You're like really trying to stretch it out, which I appreciate.
A little bit.
Yeah, so that nice look on goggles. I didn't even have my eyes on
see.
that one. That's a nice one. I got out of Apple. I took like about 12 pennies on Apple. I see, it's so funny. Sharif's sitting there. I go and I look at this and I'm like, oh, Apple. And Sharif's like, yeah, I'm in that, right? So I was like, I don't want to get in yet. I'll get my beverage and I will get Sharif the water. And then I come back and it's still holding this. I said, Adara, try to scalp this. Initially I wanted 66s. When I realized we were struggling with 50s, I said, Adara, your biggest issue with paper handing last week, just like, don't do that. Just get out. So that's what I did in AAPL. I was risking into about 24s, 25s around this area. So like, please just punch. Took a little baby trade. My next one that I have my eye on is my old pal, Tesla. Look at this. Look at Tesla. Look at this resistance at 175.50s, and we're seeing a little bit of a range with slightly higher lows. I want to take this into the top of the range. If we see a bounce, I don't know why I'm talking in this sing-song voice, but I do like this look here on T to the S to the L to the A. Has me saying hip hip hooray right now. So yeah, how goes goggles?
It's decent. We're still hanging around VWAP. I've already put my out on this one. Already wet my beak on some profits there through the touch of the $0.50. So we'll get to that trade and come what may on this trade. But we do have a lesson du jour that we have to get to. And all week long, Adara, we're talking about the measured move. But I haven't loaded up the slides, so I'm going to send it to you for a second while I load up said slides.
Yeah, I'm still looking at Tesla, but I can also look at SockSal. I've started doing, it's not a sticky note, it's just my own personal like look at levels. And on SockSal, I have one I like, and it was going to be 47, but now, and I say that because that was also, if I zoom out a little bit, that was a little bit of, there we go. So you have 47, a little bit of an area here earlier, but now it's not. But you know what is the main level now that we're looking at is lessons. L for learning, so we're going to be looking at some lessons. Thank you so much, Sharif, for putting that together. We're going to talk about the measured move.
Yes, we're talking about all week, and we're going to talk about more nuanced trade using the measured move strategy. But before we even do that, people are going to wondering, what the is the measured move? So let's get to that. Let's explain what this is so we can get some of the lessons based upon it on the road. So welcome, intraday traders. Today's lesson demystifies the concept of the measured move, a valuable tool for navigating the fast-paced world of short-term trading. Let's get right to it. So what is the measured move exactly? So imagine a stock makes a significant price move. A measured move helps estimate the potential price target, future price target, the potential future price target or support and resistance levels based upon that first initial move. It's like gauging how far the domino effect might ripple after that first push. And so this is basically a graphic showing the bullish and bearish measured moves on this particular slide. So you have the initial trend, the size of the first leg is measured, that you have that as your standard, and then you're able to kind of project that later on the drop down there in the trough for that next leg up. Very simplified kind of concept, but if you want to screenshot this, this kind of helps really narrow it all down, right? So we'll keep keep that screen there if you want. Take a screenshot, whatever you want to do. And there is another graphic mastering the measured move, so to speak. You're able to gauge based upon wave 1, whether it's an up or down to what wave 3 or wave 5 we'll look at. We'll get more into that as the week goes on. But the basic idea here is measured moves assume that price movements tend to follow a certain percentage retracement of the previous move. Here's a simplified approach. So first, you identify a significant price move, whether that's up or down, on an intraday chart. Then you calculate the size of the move by subtracting the starting price from the ending price. Here's an example, right? I know it sounds super theoretical, but this is the example. So let's say a stock price jumps from $20 to $25 intraday, which is obviously a $5 increase. You apply a common retracement percentage using the fibs. If you don't know how to use fibs, go back and Google that lesson on Fibonacci retracements that Adair and I did on how to trade. So you're gonna apply a common fib retracement. This is where it gets a little nuanced. You could use 50%. Some other people could use the 30s or the 60s or the 20s or the 70s. There's a plethora of different fib retracements. So you're going to have to get acquainted with which one you want to use in particular, and you're going to have to standardize it because otherwise you're not going to have equal results or consistent results. So you apply a common retracement percentage. My purpose is I'm using 50, and then you multiply the price by that percentage. So here's continuing example. So we have a 50% retracement that we're using as our retracement percentage of $5, which is 2.5, obviously, right? Then we're going to add for uptrends. You're going to subtract for downtrend. So you're going to add the retracement value from the ending price to estimate the potential target, or you're going to subtract the retracement from the value of the ending price to estimate the potential target there. So depending on whether you're going long or short is going to be whether you're adding or subtracting that example, that number. So in our example, an upward trend here, you'd have a potential profit target of $25, which is based upon you have a potential target of $27.50, which is based upon $25 as the ending price added to that $2.50 retracement. So that's $27.50 for the downtrend. It would be $22.50 that you would have a potential target. That's based again upon a $25 ending price and a $2.50 retracement. In the latter as opposed to the former, we subtracted 2.5 rather than adding it because it was a short sale. So some important considerations for using this particular strategy is that measured moves or estimates, they're not guarantees. You should already know that if you're familiar with technical analysis. The market doesn't always follow a perfect retracement, nor does it always follow the retracement percentage that you've selected. Recall that in this case, we use 50%, but that's not the only one that's used for fibs. Get acquainted with that. Some other considerations that you need to keep in mind, consider using different retracement percentages. I kind of alluded to that. 38.2 and 61.8 are some other popular retracement percentages based on market conditions and your specific trading strategy. And also combine measured moves with other technical indicators like support or resistance levels or trend lines for stronger signals. So how do you leverage the measured move for trades intraday? So first of all, identify potential entry and exit points. What do I mean by that? So look for a price move followed by a pullback towards the calculated retracement level. You should already have that level identified using your fibs. This could be a buying opportunity in an uptrend or a selling opportunity in a downtrend. Again, this goes kind of both ways. You also got to set your stop losses. Place stop loss orders below the retracement level for the long positions to limit, obviously, if the price falls sharply, and above retracement levels for short positions and able to get out of dodge if the price does start pumping. And manage risk. I mean, obviously, if you don't have an account to trade, you're not going to be able to trade, nor will you be able to join Adair and on how to trade. So measured moves provides estimates, so don't risk a significant portion of your capital based solely on this concept. Also, be prepared to take profits early in case the momentum doesn't carry as far as a measured move suggests it would. And here's a pro tip, guys. Practice using measured moves on historical charts to get comfortable with the concept before applying it to live trades, right? We talked a lot about this, whether you want to use historical charts to see whether or not your technique works or whether you want to trade live in the sim to see, if you've got the composition to be able to do it. So that's the lesson today. Super simple. We're just identifying the measured move, and then we're going to basically get into more nuanced type of trades as the week goes on.
Yeah, and may I say, I love when you casually bake PAMP into a sentence. Oh, and if we PAMP, then it's ready. So shout out to Sharif. Thank you for preparing that lesson and keeping us entertained. Tesla, if you want to PAMP it just a bit, I'd be pleased as punch. Now, I want to clarify, does this look bearish? Oh, heck yes. We have, especially because I thought we might have a breakout if we had a higher low, but we didn't really get that. We had two higher lows, then we had a slightly lower low here. And you might be thinking, Adara, this long seems like a bit of an eyebrow raiser. And you know what, maybe it is. I'm trying to take about 15 pennies. I've watched the support we've had at 174.35 has been really nice. I want to take it into 174.50s, cut the cord, I'm done, I'm outie. Although that's kind of disrespectful because I'm in Tesla, so I guess I'm out of the Cybertruck running there. But yeah, I don't mind this. If we break below 20s, I am going to have to leave. But I think this could be a decent short-term trade. Shout out to Kyle Burdett as well for pointing out the very bear flaggish look of this, which I definitely agree with. We generally did have that nice little flag pull to the downside and then a little bit of chop and turn. This could break down to me in any second. So I'm aware this is a slightly risky trade, but I think sometimes, you do, to quote Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's true.
And so if I consider myself to be a scalper and I see an opportunity that's kind of scalpy that I like, that's within my purview, within my wheelhouse, part of my oeuvre, whatever words you want to use, I think that this could be something I'm comfortable with, right? So that's why I took that T to the S to the L to the A. Pretty tight risk reward here, just trying to get into trades that I enjoy and trade in my style. Also, I did take a couple pennies out of Soxal, and I do literally mean a couple pennies. I was initially wanting into 48.20s. We were taking forever to break above 48s, and I was like, Adara, you're not comfortable in this trade anymore. Take your really small profit and leave. So I did, and I am aware, profit here, of course, not great. Taking smaller profit, but I'm really just trying to practice taking slightly larger shares if I'm going to scalp, so Soxal and Apple, and then just getting comfortable executing those trades accordingly. So that's the look. How is your look?
Not too bad. Set up a couple of trades right now. The first one is a dip trade on Apple. I'm trying to catch that 10-period moving average. I had a successful trade on it earlier, trying to get back into it. It's been hugging the 10 on the 5 without question. So keep your eye on that. That's kind of what I'm looking for there. This is the green line. The green line is a 10 exponential on the 5. This is always the 5. You'll be able to see the time frame on my charts by looking in the top left corner. I know it doesn't, it's not easy to see, but if you squint and zoom, you'll be able to do it. So the 10 period right here is where obviously all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles on the 5-minute chart have held up. So I've got a dip trade right in front of the $0.50 there in order to catch this monster long. Obviously, I've got this one in the account, but we'll trade it both ways. The other one that I'm going for is a 20-period or a 50-period rejection on the Zon. It's been constantly making lower lows, but not, lower highs, but not really necessarily lower lows. And then look at this pre-market level over here that we had. This started around 8:40 and it continued right to the bell rang. Actually 10 minutes before the bell rang, because then we're started getting a little wild in our move. But 184.80, for whatever reason, you can make the argument 184.75, 184.80. That was a pre-market support level. Lo and behold, it's acting as a not a pre-market. And after the bell support level today, break even on the day for the Zon is 184.70. So like 10 pennies away from that support level. So if we get popped back up into that 180.